when Trey and myself, we met, actually I was 1 year old that time. And my first words were Trey, and then Ma, then Dad. No, Trey has been an absolutely amazing friend all through. So today, first of all, before we start, I want to thank each one of you for taking the time. How many fathers are here in the room? Father's Day is 5 days from today. Today's event, let's celebrate every father and every person who makes a father successful, which means everybody else in the room. You know, for each one of you fathers, I want to ask you to think back about that special day, or it could be a night, when you drove your wife to the hospital for the birth of that special child. For me, that was September 14th, 1993, 10 a.m., Wichita, Kansas. Don't ask me how I got to Wichita, Kansas. Trey has the answer to that. I was nervous, okay. All I had to do was get a bag full of goodies, which was pre-packed, to get in the car and back the car out. I had to make sure that the garage door was off. Raka's mom had got into the car. We had backed the car. If any one of you know Wichita, Kansas, the main street there is Kellogg Street. We are driving on Kellogg Street. We are going towards St. Francis Hospital. The first amazing moment hits me when I look at the rearview mirror. I realize that back seat won't ever be empty again. You know, it just was for two people who were married, were totally insensitive to kids. For example, if kids came in and there was a diaper burst on the carpet, we used to worry about, why not take care of the carpet first? Because the baby's butt can be cleaned any time. For that kind of a parents to all of a sudden realize that there'll be a life form on the back seat was an amazing thought. So we went to the hospital. It was a long night. At 3:08 exactly, Raka was born. I remember the first moment exactly. We did not know at that point of time whether it's a boy or a girl. I asked the pediatrician, is it a boy or a girl? He was very busy because apparently the first few seconds of a child, when the child is, instead of breathing in water, they are breathing his, or he or she is breathing in air, is very important. So the doctor told me, I don't know. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, okay. First of all, what kind of a doctor do we have my child holding who does not know? It's very easy, okay. The next second, that same doctor said, and the doctor still has holding this little baby, they're cleaning, and the doctor talked about the baby peed. And I'm like the dad who's going like, yes, my baby peed. Think about two people with some divine blessing has created this life form which pees. It's a total miracle. And I know Raka is sitting and getting embarrassed, but to me that was an obscenely amazing moment in life. That same night, I held Raka for the first time, and we decided on the name Raka. The way we came up to the name was very simple. We wanted a name from Indian origin. We wanted the name to have 2 syllables. We also did not want the name to get butchered with mispronunciations. Okay. So when we came up with Raka was one of the words we had shortlisted. Secondly, there's a lot of heritage behind the word Raka. In India, just like you have Latin here, Sanskrit is the core mother language. Every full moon is called a Purnima, and each one of them are named differently. Raka Purnima is that special full moon on which Krishna was born. We just realized that this was the brightest day in our life, and Raka was the perfect name. Of course, I have to share with you that that night, in Wichita, Kansas, in the hospital, I was really worried that our child, the only brown child in Wichita there, could get lost, okay? So I would go and look at Raka, make sure, that's where she was. They was fine. The next few days were absolutely amazing, where there were amazing amount of wake-up calls and the first things that were happening. What I started seeing was the first shower, for the first bath she took was amazing. I held her, what they taught me, like a football grip. They didn't tell me when the water hits the little baby's butt, the baby expands and it becomes a hockey grip, okay? I did not know all these things and it was amazing. I think back today, I realized this was a wake-up call for a couple who had their own lives. The reason I call it a wake-up call is, think about every morning, those of you who go to the gym early in the morning, a wake-up call is a state, changes your state. You're sleeping, the wake-up call interrupts, but you still have to act on it. So that particular night, seeing Raka for the first time, holding her were all wake-up calls. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't wake up. Unfortunately, sometimes we press the snooze button and go back to sleep. For me, I went back to sleep. Hence, the next wake-up call came on another September day, 8 years later, September 12th, 2001, day after 9/11. The previous morning, our world has been completely shattered. Okay? Every one of us can close our eyes and we know exactly where we were and how long of a disbelief we went through before we realized what was happening was actual and real. In that context, the next day, I'm sitting at home in Louisville, Kentucky. I have my laptop in front of me, I have the TV on. Corporate world teaches us to multitask very well. Little Raka has nowhere to go. She comes and cuddles next to me. I just do this thing, play with her hair, then I'm just working on the laptop. All of a sudden, maybe it was the seriousness of the day, I realized there was something not right that was going on. So as I'm still typing, ask Raka, are you okay? She said, yeah. Are you okay? Yeah, fine. Finally, I don't know why, I closed my laptop and asked her, what's wrong? She could have said 1,001 things. But the thing she said baffled me completely. She said, Dad, you're not doing too good. And I'm thinking, I'm doing good, which means it's not that we are not doing good. It means you are not doing good, so what's wrong? It's a very mechanical, mathematical approach. Elimination, I'm not doing good. She was not ready for any kind of a nonsense. She says right away, Dad, do you realize that you don't know me? I just could not hear or believe what exactly happened. Today's reality, when I think back, in anybody, most of you here have relationships which are great. If in a relationship somebody tells you, you don't know me, you should be embarrassed. You should be humiliated. For me, I was in a challenge. I right away started arguing with this little girl. No, I know you. I know your social security number. The card is right there. I know what time you go to school. I know all these things. She said, no, Dad.